And hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's Dave Bondy. Great to see everyone on this. What is today? Thursday? Today is Thursday, February 19th. We are just moving along here, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it, whatever platform you're watching on. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, I'm on Twitch. I usually get one or two people watching on Twitch. That's the channel for the gamers, I think. Yeah. So I'm not really cool like that. And we're on X as well. Thank you for being here on X, Rumble, Locals, and Substack. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. And if you are able to, become a paid subscriber, because that's how I'm able to keep doing my independent content that I do. I left the mainstream media to go work at the Mackinac Center, and then I do my own independent journalism as well. And become a paid subscriber if you can. Click the link if you're on Substack. Click where you can comment, and paid subscribers can leave a comment. So I just want to say hello to everyone. It's great to see all of you. Our story tonight, we are going to be talking to the mayor of Bay City, Michigan. Hello, Sissy. How are you doing? It's great to see you. The mayor of Bay City, Michigan tonight. And for those of you who don't know, Bay City had a welcoming resolution, and some were comparing this to a sanctuary city resolution, and it wasn't a sanctuary city resolution, but basically it was three separate resolutions that would block city government from cooperating with ICE. I'm going to be talking to the Bay City mayor, Chris Gerard, in just a little bit. He's going to be detailing what happened at that meeting and his insight into this whole controversy, and to why he basically says that really, in his words, the political issue, the national issue, really shouldn't be brought down on a local stage, because you'll hear what he has to say. I'll have that coming up in a little bit. And for those of you who are here watching as well, hello, Sissy, by the way, hello. Let me know, Anthony Hudson, I broke the story earlier today. Anthony Hudson is leaving the Republican Party in Michigan. He was a candidate. He is a candidate for governor, and he is running as a libertarian. So I'm trying to get a hold of the Libertarian Party to see what they have to say exactly about that. He says that they back him. I don't trust anybody, what anyone tells me. So I'm going to take a look and for myself and see. So we have all of those stories going as well. We have all those stories happening. And breaking news coming out of Bloomington, Indiana. There is a massive tornado right now on the ground near Bloomington, Indiana. Let me bring up some coverage right here. Hold on. It was a nice, beautiful sunset in day, actually, here in Michigan. There's power outages in Bloomington, Indiana right now. Let me try to bring this up here. Hold on. Hello, Jamie. What's up? Hello, Scott. How are you? Okay, here it is. Let me bring this up from Reed Timmer. Reed Timmer is a storm chaser. A lot of you might know that name. Very, very good storm chaser. Good at what he does. Meteorologist. I believe he's a meteorologist. Take a look right here. This is Bloomington is right there, I believe, where that word is, Bloomington. And then that's where the tornado, confirmed dangerous tornado, headed towards Bloomington. This was at 7:06 p.m. That he put this up, and right now it's 7:35 p.m. So let me go back on his page and see if we have any new information. This was 29 minutes ago. So yeah, no further details coming out right now. But that's let me bring this up here, another angle of the severe weather. So be careful if you are in certain parts of the country where they are having severe weather tonight. Be on alert. Here in Michigan, we just have Michigan weather. It's nice sunset, but a lot of snert on the ground. If you don't know what snert is, people have been educating me on the word snert. It's what is it? Snow and dirt, basically, mixed together. Snow and dirt. So that's what snert is. Getting to learn a lot about what that snert is. Also, want to get back to the sanctuary city thing. So what do you think about this? I want to know what you think. There are cities and counties across the country that are passing resolutions that they are not going to cooperate with the federal government when it comes to immigration. Now, most cities, it depends on the city. Monroe County, Michigan, they do honor detainers, I believe, and they will hold people for ICE. Certain counties will, some counties won't. Now, in Bay County, Michigan, there is a group of activists that one of the activists he's a city commissioner, Chris Runberg, and he put together this resolution to try to make sure that the Bay City Commission and Bay City would not cooperate with federal immigration. But when they started having the meeting, the police chief started talking, the director of public safety, and a lot of the things that they're proposing are things that are already in place. For example, the officers don't wear masks unless it's really cold outside and they need to, or they're an undercover officer and they can't be seen, which makes absolute sense. But the police chief did say that if, their job is to protect everyone in the community, including ICE. If ICE comes to town and they're in danger, they're going to, if they get called, they're going to work, but they're not going to enforce immigration because that's not their job. And they said that during the meeting. But I wanted to bring on the mayor of Bay City and talk to him about this because there's lots of issues that local communities are taking up. For example, the immigration issue, that some are saying that they're spending a lot of time on this when there's so much more happening in local communities, like fixing the potholes, improving housing, ridding the streets of crime. So many things happening within a community. Do the communities really need to be dealing with immigration issues and federal issues? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're watching right now, let me know. That's a big issue. Jamie EMS, the drug issue as well. There's many issues happening in these communities. So do the local communities need to get involved when it comes to federal issues that may or really may not impact them? I talked to the mayor, Chris Gerard, about this. I'm going to listen to what he had to say. He also talks about civility and how both sides can actually maybe get together and agree on something. I think we can agree that we all want people to be happy, right? I think we can all agree that we want a safe city. And for those of you who don't agree with that, I think you got a problem. If you don't agree that you want a safe city, I don't want you as my neighbor. Sorry, that's my opinion. I know I'm a journalist. I give my opinion. I tell you it's my opinion. But I would not know why anyone would not want to live in a safe community. So I would think that is something that everyone can agree on. So I talked to Mayor Gerard about the immigration issue and what he is doing towards making Bay City a great place and to bring people together. Hello, everybody. Joining me now, the mayor of Bay City, Chris Gerard. Great to see you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Okay. I'm going to get right to a lot of people are talking about in Bay City. You had a meeting earlier this week. There was something called, what is it, a welcoming city resolution. Some were comparing it to a sanctuary city. That's not what it's called, but just definition, what was that or what is that?
Well, it was broken into three separate type of resolutions. In some of it was dealing with how our law enforcement deals with immigration law. There was one about face masking for federal officers was one part of it. So it was labeled the first time a welcoming city resolution. I know there's some confusion. Some people believe welcoming city resolutions basically means we're not going to work with the federal government to do immigration enforcement in any form or manner. And so they're called those sanctuary city policies. And so that we're not going to work with the feds.
Yeah, I thought this was settled. Didn't this come up a year ago?
So last year, similar one set of policy, not one resolution came through, and so I did. What happened is it was passed 5-4, and after reviewing it, getting information from our city attorney, hearing from the residents, I vetoed that resolution that was passed, And so you need 6 votes to overcome a veto, and there was not 6 votes to support overcoming the veto. So it failed based on my veto. And so
Okay. Okay. And oh, this isn't done yet. There will be a vote on this one too?
well, so what happened on Monday is actually all three, the commissioner put them forward, Commissioner Runberg, pulled back 2 of them on his own, and then I think another commissioner pushed it back to him. He
Oh.
kind of acknowledged that there was the language was not what he exactly wanted, or thought there were some changes that needed to happen with those resolutions. There's no guarantee it will come forward. It's entirely
Oh,
up to
okay.
him. The thought process that he'd work with our director of public safety on language that made sure didn't impact the community as much in policy. The police chief did a good job, as well as the director of public safety, but
Yeah.
our policies really already do a lot of the things, and we don't have the manpower and personnel to do ICE immigration enforcement and policy. And so we have things already in place to protect. We're not like going through and stopping people and asking their immigration status here in Bay City. It's just not a thing.
Okay. I get people look at this, they live in Bay City, they live in Saginaw, whatever city this is happening. Some people will look and say, shouldn't the city or commissioners just be sticking to fixing the potholes, helping affordable housing, right? What do you say? And I don't know, you may say this too, but I mean, everyone deserves a voice, but as a mayor, as a commission, your goal is to what? Improve the life of Bay City, right?
That's my focus. I mean, one of the biggest issues going on right now, our current city manager has informed the commission that she's retiring.
Yep.
And so that position dictates a lot of things that happen and coordination in our community. And so, I mean, I released a public statement that really that should be our focus. We're not, even if the commissioner's resolutions were passed, it's not going to change anything ultimately on policy, because it was acknowledged by that commissioner and other commissioners that it maybe would codify what we currently do. There was some acknowledgement by the police director of public safety that some of it went a little too far. Some things weren't going to be legal or acceptable. There's contract language with our officers that would have to be worked on. There's just a lot of problems with the language too.
Okay.
But our next city manager, that really needs to be a priority, so we can organize our plans on how do we better fix the streets. How are the potholes fit? How do we bring people together as a community and not tear us apart? And
Yeah, are they
that's my
taking
focus.
communities taking like national, federal issues? Everyone's revved up about them, but on a local level, and I don't want to discount anyone's feelings about certain things. That would be like Bay City Commission or Saginaw City Council having a resolution on Iran, which really it means nothing. It's just political. When you're at a city commission, your goal is to focus on the city. Is it? And I don't want to discount people who feel stuff about national, but your goal is to really to help your city, right?
That's my goal. And there are, people do have different views on it, right?
Yeah.
And on the state and federal level, people do have put forward policies that say if you do this, you could lose your funding and future funding, right? There is a whether or not there's a debate on whether or not that can happen, right? And there's
Yeah.
different lawsuits. Do we even want to go down that path? Do we? If nobody, we have a vacancy in our 35th district Senate seat in the
Yep.
state. And I know people say, well, who controls the Senate? That it leans Democrat. Now in the House, it's Republican, but we don't have that advocacy for us, right? If maybe Timmy Beeson puts something forward like a bridge reimbursement, we don't have somebody on the Senate side arguing that you need to get that through. And so those kind of things, that's just one example, but there's other things. We have fire stations. That's a big discussion, right? We got $1 million grant from the federal government to do an abatement because there was some contamination on one of our fire stations.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
and
We
yeah,
don't have those monies. We don't have the city. That's $1 million that can't go into other things. And so we need those resources. Every dollar we can get in the community from outside sources, that's expands what we can do and make an impact on in the community.
yeah, and I thought I call him police chief, but public safety director is it the title?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
because we have kind of a combined,
both.
yeah,
Yeah, I
of
mean,
course.
he did a great job of speaking and of laying everything out. So, um, okay, so just wanted to clear up all that, and I'm not discounting anyone's concerns. And you sat there for more than 3 hours and listened to everyone, and there was both sides. Did it more than 3 hours, wasn't it?
Five and a almost 5.5 hours.
5.5 hours. Okay. And some people would argue that time could be spent on doing more city business, but you listen to everybody. That's what you are. You listen to the
That's
left, the right.
democracy. Everybody has a right to their opinion.
Got,
I
gotcha.
believe that. Yeah.
So Bay City is like other cities in Michigan. Michigan's been losing population. Actually, it's a little up this year, but Bay City, even my parents grew up in Detroit back in the day when it was thriving big time, and it's getting better. And I've been asking the candidates running for governor, how do you bring people back to Michigan? How do you keep the kids here? Like I have two kids. I have a daughter who wants to move to Nashville, and when she's older, she's only 13 now.
Yeah.
How do you do? I know you're not running for governor, but how do you
Yeah.
do that? How do you revitalize like Bay City, Saginaw? I don't know if you've been here your whole life, but how do you start that change?
Well, what the youth are looking for, right? They need to have a job that pays a wage that they can afford to do the things that they want to do in the community, right?
Yeah,
Affordable housing, we do have. We're part of one of the top communities for affordable housing in the state, if not
yeah,
nation, and
yeah,
so that's why they and then activities that they want to participate in, along with feeling safe, right? We need to have safe communities, so it all kind of ties in. These kind of other arguments and debates people aren't going to flock here. The youth aren't coming here because of those things. It's the things I just talked about why they are going to stay.
and those are the things at county commission. Those are the things that need to be worked on to improve that situation.
Absolutely. The employment, we've been working on those for years. How do we get more of those jobs that they want to have? And there was an opportunity, right, with some more of the remote things that people can live anywhere. And so those things are changing, but we need to support things that are going to create those jobs here for the youth to stay. And people need to feel that safety and want to be here. So
Gotcha. How has Bay City evolved over the years, and where do you see it going in the future? Like, what's your plan? I've been back in Michigan for now 5-6 years, but I haven't focused a lot on Bay City. What is your goals for Bay City? It's a lovely. I
well,
remember as I lived in Metro Detroit. Coming up to go up north, we'd stop in Bay City, we'd shop, we'd eat. It was great. What are you thinking about the future of Bay City?
Well, we were built on an industrial base, right? So lumber and that lumber mills and all that, that was kind of our start. And then we got into a lot of manufacturing production. Like GM had 3,000, 4,000
Yeah,
people. We had a lot of Rust Belt areas, so a lot of automotive things were here. And so but that's gone away, right? And
yeah,
so there was an attempt to work on some of the things related to, getting people to stop here and participating. We were a kind of a summertime place to go,
yep,
and some of that has changed.
yeah,
But we have like developments like Uptown,
yep,
and we have some new residents here. We have more new developments happening. We got to support and cultivate some of our small business folks that are coming here. We need to again help bring more kind of those jobs here, that livable jobs, living wage, that the young people can buy a house here, because we really do have great communities.
yeah.
We need to figure out, roads are big things that people, anywhere in Michigan, probably you're going to have like potholes and streets that are deteriorating. We're an older community, and
Yeah.
so it's some challenges, and we need to be working together to fix those issues. Right, the big issue everybody likes to talk about is bridges.
Yeah.
Right, and so
I got
I
to.
hear it every day, and I can't. People are like, why do you? You can't just avoid the issue, and
Yeah.
so I mean, I really do have a vision that one day maybe the current operation that there will not be here. I mean, I have to deal with the reality. They came in, they spent 150 million, they say, on money we didn't have because of the changes that have happened. But how do we move forward? How do we bring together to move forward? And these kind of we're bringing these national level issues that are polarizing aren't going to solve those local issues for us, right? And that's the trouble with this is the more we continue to divide the community, it makes it very difficult to address the issues because we're about roughly 31,000 people here, right? And we've kind of stabilized. We're still in a little bit of a decline, but there are opportunities. The one asset we have that not many communities have is that water. It's to
Yeah.
our disdain because of the bridges, right? The river runs through us. We have two sides, but that water is a tremendous asset, and that Saginaw
Amazing.
Bay, it really is. A lot of communities don't have access to that. So my vision is we need to find more ways to utilize that water to bring in more resources to the community.
So then, yeah, bringing the national levels down, somewhat of a distraction. And you say bringing people together. And I want to ask you something you brought up before we started recording. Bringing people together, I would think most people, Democrats, independents, Republicans, left, right, agree on affordable housing, good education, good helping mental health. Those are all things I think that everyone would agree on. Correct? I would imagine most normal people.
Well, I would hope. I would hope. I mean, I when I first came into office last year, I'm just a little over a year into the role.
Yeah.
I had a vision of creating a group of people there was a kind of a launch of an initiative I called Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies.
Okay.
And going through COVID, there's a lot of disconnect people had with the community, and I wanted a way to engage with people through physical help to help with mental health.
Mhm.
And it's kind of become a little broader, just this social mechanism to connect people. And there's so many ways that we're missing different opportunities and to kind of showcase what we are doing great as a community. And so it, the
Yeah, it
more we
doesn't
can
need to
bring
be
people together
divided.
and have conversations, the better.
Yeah, everything doesn't have to be left, right, center. How about just have a great city and enjoy life? Right? I'm thinking
Yeah,
like dreamland, I guess, but and people know I obviously lean more conservatively, but I want everyone to be happy, enjoy where they live. And Michigan's a great place for people who haven't lived outside of Michigan. I had a job offer in Washington, D.C. There was no way I could have afforded anything to live anywhere near there. This state, this area, it's very affordable. It's a great place to live. And I think a lot of times that's not talked about, the
yeah,
pluses that we have here.
yeah. We do. The one thing I go to every morning. I'm at the YMCA,
Beautiful
and
building. Yeah.
it is a beautiful facility. And the beauty of that is people from all varying backgrounds are there. You don't know, and people a lot of times they don't know I'm the mayor sometimes, and then people, oh, you're the mayor, and like, but I'm just a person, right? And so,
Yeah.
there's doctors, lawyers, judges. But then there's just the everyday Joe there, and in such a in those. So you have an example there of something. I think they have like almost 9,000 members, and
Yeah.
and they support people from all levels. I mean, those are the kind of examples that we can do things together and not worry about it.
Yeah.
We've let kind of these political narratives take over our life
Yeah.
versus doing what we want to do as a just happy community and supportive of a community. There are so many great things there. I'm involved with the St. Patrick's Day race. That is like a great thing we do in our community. We celebrate culture, and so in a month we're all going to be 6,000 people will be running down the streets
Oh
of Bay
yeah.
City,
Oh yeah.
and then we're going to have a parade with it. So
Yeah. I love
it's
it.
just all those kind of fun things that bring people together. And we have a welcoming community that does all that.
Okay. That's why I just wanted to bring you on, explain a little bit about that resolution, but also about how maybe, and I don't want to say the word distraction, but there is so much going on at a local level. And during that meeting, it was good to hear commissioners when the director of public safety, he really did a great job of laying it all out. I know I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but I did. That's my opinion. That people actually understood. It seems like when you actually talk back and forth instead of yelling, people will listen. It was a good when he was talking the back and forth with the commissioners. There was no yelling. There was no accusations. It sounded like a good give and take. And I think we need more of that, right?
Yeah, we need to keep those kind of dialogue and channels. And I'm a firm believer, whether you agree with me or not, I'm more than willing to sit down with people. Actually, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I had somebody call for my resignation, and so I offered to sit down with him, and he just responded while we were on, and he says, "Well, more than willing to sit." There's always opportunities to have these kind of dialogues, whether we agree with each other or not. Maybe walk away with a little better understanding, and we can still walk away with not in agreement, but you know what, maybe there's we need to have more of a mutual level of respect to have those conversations.
Exactly.
You know, before that meeting there was a protest about that, and I went out there and I tried to talk with as many people as possible on all sides of it, because right, that's my job. They're part of my community, and
You're
so
brave.
nah, it's not bravery. It's what it is. It's we need to have these conversations, and we may not agree, but we need to converse. Like if you're just mad at me just because I don't take the position you believe I should, let's have that conversation. Let's why. I am more than willing to take a different view on it if you make sense, right? And so that's we have certain folks, and I think we're so inundated, right? You talk about coming from the news media, we're so inundated with these messages and messaging versus like having just real life conversations with people, kitchen counter conversations versus we're being thrown these things and we're going to react, right? It's by nature. You see these things happening, right? You're going to react, and some of it is meant to make reaction.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so so it gets you emotional. But how do we work beyond that and say, you know what, we don't agree with this, that, the other? Well, what are the things that we do agree on? How do we focus on that? And then the tough stuff, I think we don't ignore, but how do we pick away at some of those things? And maybe there's a little more understanding. Yeah. I think we used to do that and we don't anymore. And social media, unfortunately, there's a lot of positive I find in that. I mean, I truly do. It's a way to connect with people, but there's also, if it's not used right, there's so much negativity.
Absolutely.
And people can say whatever. It used to be the things that get said online. There's no way people would say those things to your face.
No.
And it gives people that distance. And a lot of times people are, I answer my phone. A lot of times people in public office don't. You can't believe the response, and people are just shocked.
I know. I bet.
Like, you're the mayor. You're answering your phone. I'm like, yeah, that's part of the role. Like, I don't do this role. Like, I'm very fortunate in my life. My wife and I own a bunch of investment property, and we sold those a few years ago, and we're able to enjoy life. We could, if I wanted to, with my wife, we could probably spend half of the year down south. And because I retired at 46.
Wow.
And so, but I believe in our community. I believe in the fight to bring people to the table and have these conversations. So because people there, when I was running for this office last year, a year and a half ago, people thought this was like a full-time gig, and you're making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's like $9,000 a year. And I probably spend 20 to 40 hours, depending on what's going on a week, interacting with people, talking about the city, encouraging, and so you don't do this job for the money.
No.
People
don't know that.
I mean, and people say, well, you do it for the glory. Well, I mean, you're getting yelled at all the time by half the people in the community. I do it because I love my community. I want us to see better. And the only way we're going to do that is an engagement level of people we agree and don't agree with together.
Gotcha.
That's the bottom line.
I appreciate you. That's why I kind of left the media before. We only could do 2-minute stories. I can air this entire interview and let everyone listen to it and get the whole thing without editing it. That's why I like doing this and having a good conversation instead of the 2-minute sound bites, which
Absolutely.
I don't think do well. So thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I'll be up
Absolutely.
this summer enjoying the water, the parade, and the fireworks, of course.
Yeah, and it's a big year, right? 250, and I've talked to Earl a couple of times, and they're having an event coming up here in March that they need those resources to help make that happen. So
I will help get that out there.
perfect.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much, sir. Yeah, there you go. Bay City Mayor Chris Gerard, good guy. Enjoyed the interview, enjoyed the discussion. Just had a question from Vaughn on YouTube. Does the mayor think it's okay for ICE officers or other officers to be doxxed and harassed for doing their jobs? That interview is taped, so I cannot ask him that right now. But knowing the mayor, I would assume he would say absolutely not. I assume he would say no. He would say no, maybe. Okay, so yeah, let me know what all of you think about that. Jamie, EMS, everyone else, Scott, how you doing? K Bondy, how you doing? Just reading your comments right now. Sorry. There's side conversations going on in some of the platforms right here. I wasn't paying attention, but for those of you on Substack, whatever platform you're watching on, thank you, everybody. So I want to bring up something. Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan, some people are criticizing her for going on an international trip. I believe she was in Switzerland first, and now she is in Italy. Let me bring up a picture and show you what's happening. This is Governor Gretchen Whitmer. She's at the Olympics. Her last trip cost $62,000 of your taxpayer money. That's her enjoying the Olympics right there. She was at the women's hockey gold medal game while on a trade mission. So some people criticizing the governor for going on a trip. That picture courtesy of the Detroit News. That tweet from the Detroit News. Okay, so we've had a lot going on, everybody. In the sports world, for those of you who are big about sports, the Chicago Bears might leave Chicago. Yeah, did you know that? Hey, little man. The Chicago Bears might leave Chicago and go to Indiana. They might go to Hammond, Indiana. The Indiana Bears, they might leave. They're fighting over a stadium. It's all about a stadium and probably taxpayer money. About taxpayer money as it is. So, yeah, what do you think about that? The Chicago Bears possibly leaving Chicago for a new stadium in Hammond, Indiana. That is just something. And yeah, Lady Ashai, there is that tornado that is happening in Indiana, and our prayers go out to all of them as well. Also, let me show you something on the screen right here. This is a story I really didn't know about until today, and it's getting a lot of attention out there. Has anyone seen this story about this dog? Take a look right here. This dog, this person, I believe it's a woman. A woman was arrested at Harry Reid International Airport after police say she tied her dog to a baggage sizer at a JetBlue ticket counter and left the dog behind. That's the woman right there. I believe she has been arrested. And the dog, I believe, is now up for adoption. You can imagine lots of people are going to get this dog. And this is the video right here. They have video of the dog. There's a picture that, look at that dog. That dog is so freaking cute. The dog is now called JetBlue. It's in foster care and expected to find a permanent home soon. That actually looks like our puppy, the dog that we have, our Snoopy. That actually just looks like Snoopy as well. Yeah, that is just wild indeed. Indeed it is. So that is Snoopy, everybody. Wow. That's not Snoopy. It looks just like Snoopy, but a really sad story happening out of Las Vegas, but it's good the dog is okay. And the dog is most likely going to have an owner who really, really cares for him. Really sad that people have to be like that. And I have our dog Snoopy, and I would not leave that dog no matter what, anywhere. Honestly. No, I wouldn't leave Snoopy. It's all about Snoopy. It's all about my kids and my wife first, but then it's about Snoopy. Yeah. Okay. Let me look at the comments, everybody, what we got going on. Can we tie her up and leave her unattended, says Scott Stillwell. I know there's a lot of people who would probably like doing that. Absolutely, there is. A lot of people who would like to do that. Okay. Well, that's about all I have, everybody. I really appreciate everyone being here. And you need to make sure. Oh, hold on. We got a video of the tornado. Hold on. Let's see. Let me bring this up for you. I know Lady is shy. You're in Missouri. Is there anyone watching from Indiana right now? Anyone watching from Indiana? I'm not sure if I have anybody in Indiana watching, especially near the Indianapolis or Bloomington area. I want to show on the screen right now. This is a picture someone took. When it's dark, it's hard to see a tornado. But take a look right here at this video. This is a tornado hitting near Bloomington, Indiana.
Tornado on the ground. It's right there. You see it? It's right there. Tornado on the ground. It's right there.
That was the video right there, and I can pause it. You can see the tornado. I don't know. It looks like it's to be on the ground right there, very close to be on the ground, but it was reported on the ground near Bloomington, Indiana. So all of our prayers are going out with those impacted by the tornado. It's getting to be that time of year again. I remember when I used to live down in Birmingham, Alabama, with my wife, I would cover tornadoes this time of year. We had lots of tornadoes. And Lady Ashai, I bet you have you've had tornadoes in your area. Sissy, you've had tornadoes in your area. We all have. Every state, I think, has had a tornado. Even Alaska, I think, has had one, which is pretty wild indeed. Okay, everybody. Well, I really appreciate all of you being here. And on that note, I am going to get to sleep. I have an early day tomorrow morning, a lot going on Friday. I will see all of you on Sunday. And we are going to be digging into a controversial curriculum at a Michigan school district. We're going to be digging into all of that yet again. It seems like every week I'm getting letters and messages from parents about controversies at local schools. If you would like to be part of those stories and like to read them, please become a paid subscriber, because that's how I'm able to keep doing what I do. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I will talk to you later.